So no, I'm not on camera. I don't like being on camera. So you might not ever see me on camera. But you'll see my TV and stuff in front of my TV at the moment. So boring right now. But anyway, had an epiphany the other day about myself and my life. Thought it would be helpful for people out there who may connect with it in some way, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, um, had an experience when I was about 5, and I basically suffered from burns to my body. And in that experience, I blacked out a few times. And in one of those instances, when I did come to, I was actually looking at my body on the bed as my great aunt was praying over me, as if I was watching everything from above. So since then, I've kind of had this sixth sense, I guess you would say, that the physical body isn't all that we are in this world. And I've kind of lived my life with that knowledge ever since. And it's kind of made me present myself in a different light than most people. So I've always felt like I didn't belong, I didn't fit in every instance of my life in this world. And it's been kind of hard. But yeah, because of that experience, it was like everything that I was doing was more so feeding my spirit than my body, my mind, or my emotions. So the way that manifested was as if I was emotionless, or I never really thought things through, or I never really cared about my appearance. At least that's what the interpretation was that I got from other people, when the reality was I was just living life, feeding my spirit, whatever my spirit, needed or wanted in some cases. And it's caused a lot of rifts and disruptions and problems in my life. And up until I was about 21, 22, I had another experience that kind of catapulted me in another direction. I was smoking, which, I'm not against, to each his own. Um, but in that experience of smoking, a lot of smoke basically was caught within my body. And for like 10 minutes straight, I was talking to the people that I was around at the time, and like smoke was just coming out of my mouth as if it was just crazy. Like, imagine just talking and like puffs of smoke coming out of your mouth, like the cartoon characters in comic books. Whenever they talked, the little cloud appeared. It was like that. But anyway, after that died down and I left where I was, I went outside. It was kind of cold, and I started to walk. And it was as if I was seeing things as if it was being played slow motion on a movie reel. Like, those old movies where they have the reels of film and you can actually kind of see as the film like goes to the next scene. It was like every movement that I was making and everything and everybody around me, I was seeing in that light. So from that point on, it was like I never really saw the world the way that others saw the world again. Like it was somewhat of a traumatic experience for me. And I think from then on, I kind of slowed down until I entirely stopped smoking. And with that came this series of upheavals and epiphanies and visions and stuff like that that at the time I didn't really understand, but over time, in hindsight, I start to learn more, and I also started to seek more knowledge about different things to help me understand, because I never really felt like I could tell anybody anything that I was going through out of fear of judgment. And since then, I've pretty much lived my life still, you know, in the mindset of that was different than other people because of the second experience and a little bit more awareness as to feeding my spirit and opening up to basically feeding my mind, feeding my body, feeding my emotions. And I never really thought about how that may hurt other people until recently, when I had this epiphany. And it made me realize how emotionally stunted I might have been for a long time. And it's kind of weird, I guess. Like, to be my age and not really understand the emotional needs of other people to the point of really kind of being blind to them. But such is life, I guess. We all learn, we all make mistakes. Um, but as far as how that made me different, it's like a lot of people in this world, especially in the black community, they never really see anything past the base life, like food and water and shelter and sex and, stuff like that. And mostly it's because they're programmed not to. They're taught unconsciously to believe that that's all there is to life. So they don't really seek anything other than those things and how to feed those needs. But in recent years, I guess you could say that there's been a uprising in the knowledge that there is more and that people should reach out for more. And it's turned more into people, you know, following their goals and reaching for their dreams and, going after those relentlessly as much as the baser needs. Even to fulfill those baser needs, I guess you could say. And it has put me in a position to where I can also see myself being different because I never really cared about those things. You know, I never thought about what I wanted to be when I grew up because everything was all about feeding my spirit. And now I guess it comes across as me being lost or not really having any goals, but the reality was my goals in life were just different. When I was 8 years old, I made a goal for myself to learn all there is about money and how it works and what it is, where it comes from, how it rules the world and manipulates people into doing the things that it does. So I never really thought about what I wanted to be. So I never really made plans for it. And I've been judged for that, like harshly in some instances, to where people never really took me seriously when I actually set goals for things that I wanted to do in life. So none of those things really ever manifested because they always require the other person's participation. And when they don't feel like, you know, they can believe in me to see the things to the end, they just won't participate. So those things never really come into fruition, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of all I had to say for now. I guess I'll hit y'all back later when I have something else. Deuces.